Endpoint gets to play gatekeeper here as Karmine Corp has a huge mountain to climb, battling with the likes of Vitality and Semper and Evil Geniuses trying to get to Sweden.
And I can understand everyone being a little bit hesitant here, Stacks, about wanting to pick K-Corp. But at the same time, I don't think this is necessarily going to be the easiest match for Endpoint. They will still have to contend with a lot of speed on defense coming out of Astral, and they're going to have to work hard if they want to score goals.
This is a Karmine Corp team that has had success at times against Endpoint. But right now, it is Endpoint on the attack. Astral out of the corner, trying to get around Seiko. He does. Now Itachi couldn't pop past the relating wave. And now the counter back the other way. Only Astral to beat, and Seiko taken out from behind by Stake. Huge demo cuts off all the options for Endpoint as they try to get that opening goal, but this goes out to the corner, and Astral may have just given it back right to them. Demos left and right, kind of uncharacteristic to how they played during the Swiss.
And Gregan as well, definitely lining up nicely there with the prediction, saying the challenge game going to be important for endgame. Currently playing out in spades for him. Stake just able to get there and keep Metza from scoring the first goal of the series. And we'll see if this kind of pressure can keep up for Endpoint. As Stake also having to dodge demos. Metza back towards the middle. Itachi kicked out. Seiko one more time towards the wall. There's Astral taking it away, securing his own boost. And oh my gosh, this is insane to handle right now for K-Corp.
Shot, save, over and over and over again. 4 shots already coming out of Endpoint. Seiko harassing Astral down the field. Now Stake cuts off at the midfield line, needs to get around Metzadoris and does. Itachi will take over. Looking for someone to pass to. That someone was Astral, but the pass deflected away. Itachi, look, it's the pregame testing, sure, whatever. He was on it in the pregame here, and I wonder if we might see something special out of Itachi, especially with the lights so bright now with so much on the line here in the quarters.
They're going to need something, and currently K-Corp in a decent position here, getting a couple boost deals, but Itachi just cuts forward thinking his teammate was going to challenge. So Itachi, unfortunately, big defensive mishap. I went to his camera. He can see Relating Wave going up there too. It's just a weird misread of the speed there from Stake and Relating Wave, and that's just a straight blunder for Itachi.
2 minutes gone by, and it's Endpoint out in front. Relating Wave with his 15th goal of the regional. Now Stake down to Astral. K-Corp in business. Astral couldn't quite get to that ball, and this skips back out to Itachi, who has to send this back onto the blue half of the field, but not towards any teammates. Nobody was downfield. Here comes Endpoint again. Astral demolished behind the play, and he's back in to take over from here. Vengeance on his mind. He's got Stake in front. He's up for the pass. Nice. And that is to the ceiling, set away by Metza just barely, and now Astral will play that to the corner. The ideas are there at Chiefs. Execution, not so much for K-Corp. The few chances they've gotten downfield, unable to convert now with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, but they are pressing for the past couple of minutes. Definitely a lot less Endpoint offense, so we'll see if there's any more opportunity there. Stake did have a good setup, like you said, in the Astral. That's also real nice, but Itachi playing a little too tight there. So 2 minutes left, more than enough time to score 1 goal for a team like K-Corp for sure.
Metza for Relating Wave. A demolition comes through again, and Endpoint double the lead.
Well, not going to be able to just rely on one now. That's a great demo on the goal line and a lot of net to cover for Itachi coming across, I believe it was. And unfortunately, you can't cover it all. Shot to the back post gets it done. Endpoint putting the pressure.
Oh, clean kickoff win. Astral got the whole net shoot at. Off the pass to Stake, and he sailed it well wide. Gonna want that one back. Shot at Redemption. That's sent away as well. Not a lot of pace on the shot from Astral.
You'd like to see a bit more control from K-Corp pushing onto the offense. They kind of lose it there on the offense with Stake just trying to force it through, and that's a great dish out pass to Seiko. Itachi, tough ask. Got a piece of it, actually. Unfortunately, the wrong one. Yellowtail straight down to the other team. Endpoint up 3-0. Game 1, gonna say probably out of reach here with 1:23.
Well, a kickoff goal would at least get them back in business, but still nothing doing. Unable to get downfield quick enough. Seiko with a savior medal to go alongside Relating Wave's hat trick in game 1. Could not ask for a worse start if you're K-Corp. Down a game if this scoreline holds, and they have not had much on the offensive end to inspire confidence. Good drop down pass to Astral. Seiko with the save. And now we get into this final minute. And Endpoint will try to just burn it all the way. That's post and in. We've seen so many shots go off target on the other half of the field. This catches the post, and of all things, that is Seiko's first goal.
So it's funny because Itachi rotating into net there, he missed the boost at the midfield line. And so he's thinking, well, it's okay. Stake still has it. Gets over Stake's head, and Itachi had to take a little detour, grab the corner boost. So he kind of hesitated on the goal line there. Couldn't keep that one out either. Unfortunate start here, as you said, for K-Corp. Definitely a lot more disastrous than they would have liked, that's for sure, especially considering how well they played against Endpoint in the Swiss yesterday, coming out with a win 3-1. But have to see what adjustments they can figure out. I think they did a good job to stop the bleeding, you know, as this one kept going. Like we said, at least breaking a lot of that initial pressure. Astral's going to get one back here. So something to hold on to at least.
He is the leading scorer on the field. Only because of that goal. That ties him with Relating Wave for the tournament. Now that Wave has the opening game hat trick. 16 seconds remain here in game 1. Little more than a formality as Endpoint puts the finishing touches on an opening game dub. And the task for Karmine Corp now to try and make their way into the major gets a little bit tougher. The window closes just a little bit. 1 down, 3 lives left.
Well, tough start, but a lot of good things. It's just a matter of, okay, we were definitely able to get out of our own half after that initial, minute and a half or so. And beyond that, it just became, okay, do we have enough people in position to actually find opportunities over on the offensive side? Because getting that ball jammed in that corner never really did too much for K-Corp when it came to getting on offense and generating scoreable chances. Endpoint overall, though, I mean, great job picking spots in the net to shoot, definitely putting defenders in tough positions and having them make really, really tough choices on where they wanted to defend. And overall, it picked them apart when it came to shooting. So Endpoint, you obviously don't have to change much. It's just a matter of K-Corp can really get settled on offense and have those people in position to try and set up more plays. And it's tough. You can't really rely on the Astral solo play because they're putting a lot of pressure on him too. I mean, he's getting bumped a lot of the time he's going for the ball. They're not letting him grab control and try and beat multiple defenders.
Onward now to Forbidden Temple for game 2. A big stop early on from Stake as Endpoint try to pour on the pressure in game 2 the same way they did game 1. Seiko for Relating Wave, and Astral makes the save, and more importantly stays with this ball, so there's no rebound opportunity. And Itachi with a big block on Relating Wave as well. Huge defensive stand here in the first 30 seconds, but K-Corp has to get out of their zone. They finally do, and see if they can do any damage with it. It's Itachi leaving it back for Stake. His shot is high. Oh, Stake has had a tough time finding the range here early on. This time he scores from point blank.
Look at the recovery, though. I mean, you'll see Astral here. Great touch towards the net and continue the play towards the goal line. Put the pressure on Seiko. Come up with a big block. Let Stake have a second chance at the net. Turn it back in. Great opening for K-Corp here.
Boy, if Stake had missed that one, they'd never pass to him the rest of the series. That's one that can get the confidence going a little bit, but that's a good drop down, and it goes right through Itachi and Metza. Here's Seiko. Still has Metza in front, and he can keep this ball central, and Relating Wave comes in and scores off the defensive whiff.
Tough call here for Stake. He's rotating back into net. He's only got 12. He sees that floater, and I think just that initial instinct to jump and try and save a shot, because you're expecting if that pass comes out that they're going to be right there ready for it. So Stake is thinking, I need to just get up and try and block a shot, not necessarily to make contact with the ball on my first look. So awkward ball to handle for Stake. Couldn't come up with a touch, and Endpoint get it right back.
Seiko with a full tank of boost. He's waiting for Relating Waves pass, and Stake sniff that out.
Oh, great hop.
Now Itachi, can he get to this? He sure can. Tight angle, and he scores.
I shouldn't have said free. This is definitely a lot harder than Itachi made
For him it is.
But you felt good when he got through the whole defensive line there with that one nice challenge of the midfield line. And you said it, tight angle, and importantly, bottom of the net. They had a guy coming back. Maybe if it's a little higher, he might just be able to kick that off the post and have it ricochet out.
Oh, another one thrown in front. Seiko scores. This is looking like a preview of Dig and Queso. Goals left and right.
Trying to figure out how this one gets through Astral and Itachi, you know? Oh, Astral backflipped as well. I think he didn't want to bump Itachi there just in case Itachi actually had the save. And so Astral hitting the backflip kind of kills his momentum forward, and he never makes contact with the ball as Itachi overshoots it. That's insane.
Here goes Astral again. Him and Metza almost look like they just kind of bounced off each other from a certain angle. This goes skipping back onto the Karmine Corp half of the field, and Itachi has to deal with Relating Wave chasing him down. Good ball out to Stake, and you can see now moving downfield more as a team. The passes certainly on point more now than they were in the opener, and maybe just in time to give themselves a shot at the fall major. Astral around the corner. He's got Stake and Itachi waiting, and it's Itachi that has to kind of play safety valve, getting this back to the corner safely.
Nice play from Itachi there. Got caught overcommitting on offense, able to make a tough rotation defensively, pick up the boost and steal the ball away and get K-Corp out of an awkward position. And here, not quite a chance to score. Didn't have the space to the ball to really get all the way around it. And Astral again on defense, who's been working overtime a lot. Coming across, making nice saves. Relating Wave is going to punish Stake. Gotta wonder where he ran off to. Has no boost, is thinking Itachi has to touch forward, and Astral is going forward, so Stake's thinking, cool, let's go on offense, and that was not the case.
Endpoint in front, exactly halfway through game 2. Stake looking to pinch, and Metanoris blocks. Here's Relating Wave. Double on the way. No, he's going to let that go, and Stake has it out to Itachi.
Oh, Metza.
Oh, what a read by Metza. He was up yesterday for this ball, and Endpoint continued to pour it on.
It is not often you get to say you were faster to a ball in the air than Astral, that's for sure. Excellent defense from Metza in the midfield, and it's netted Endpoint of possession here with some extra looks around as they're putting the pressure on the goal line. Seiko right at Stake, and he's able to dodge a demo and pull it off the line.
Sometimes you just throw a hard one at them and hope that they don't make the save. This goes right back the other way. Big demolition on Itachi. Stake, all he can do is play to Seiko. Here's Metanoris with Astral riding alongside the whole way. Down to 90 seconds or so. Stake couldn't get this central for Astral, so he's got to chase it down in the corner. And here comes Endpoint again. That passing that was so good early in this game, not so much as we've gotten to the latter stages. Astral doesn't have anybody to pass to here. Stake and Itachi are almost like they're riding side by side.
Yeah, that is kind of a interesting point to bring up because, yeah, the spacing for K-Corp definitely very tight, very aggressive, and sometimes is putting them in some weak positions to challenge the ball from. Astral having to dismount from the backboard to take that one away, and that really is the big difference for me. Endpoint, when they approach a ball that they're challenging for, it's from such a great position, a real solid line that gets a lot of the car behind the center of the ball to take the ball away from K-Corp. And that difference in positioning is working out so nicely for Endpoint in terms of, you know, earning the ball and keeping it.
Karmine Corp in their own defensive zone look a little bit like they're navigating New York City traffic. That's a lot of stop and go. Having a tough time getting on the same page. They're on the same page now. Astral dropped down for Itachi off the backboard, and that's swept away by Seiko and Metza. Here's Stake now with 22 seconds, and Seiko cut that one out as well. So K-Corp has to go all the way back to their own line. They may only have one more trip down the field, and it may not matter. What a save by Itachi on the double by Wave, who has been awesome. Stake now with 5 seconds in front for Astral and cleared. Last call now, and Itachi can't catch up. Relating Wave, because of course, has yet another.
Man, what a perfect positioned play for Relating Wave in the net there. That challenge went right to him. And you can't really blame K-Corp for overcommitting in this particular instance. They need a goal. There's 2 seconds left. Hope Astral makes the challenge. See if Itachi can make the reaction and get something done. But ouch. That's tough for K-Corp. Because you feel like, you know, all the goals that they lit in, preventable in some sense of the word. And while they had a couple of great looks on offense, just not quite able to keep it together. Relating Wave, a hat trick with 6 shots. Great put away game for him.
It is a dire situation now for K-Corp. We are not being told of any timeout after 2. So they're going to keep it in their hip pocket, perhaps until we see ball split point for K-Corp. If they are not able to turn things around here, 4-1 in the opener, 4-2 in game 2. So there's a little bit of progress there achieved, especially in the early stage of that game. But it all fell apart. Endpoint adjusting almost like a chameleon throughout that game.
That's the hard part. They just don't have the ability to stop such great challenges. That's what you're going to have to fix if you're K-Corp. You need to have a better line to the ball if you want to take it away. Because as you saw, I mean, Mets has beaten Astral to the ball over at the midfield line. Everybody on Endpoint, in fact, is beating K-Corp to challenges. And even if they're tied, it's just all the vector math, you know? It's just all Endpoint right now. And I got to say, Regan's looking like a mighty smart man right now with the challenge call.
Well, here's Relating Wave starting off now, who's got 6 out of the 8 goals that Endpoint has scored today. Now, Seiko, can he get up to this one in a hurry? He sure can. He can do just about anything, as we've seen so far in this fall split. It's been one of the great stories of the fall European season. And here's Seiko himself opening the scoring for Endpoint.
How does this get through? I mean, sure, a touch off the ceiling. Oh, man. Just such an aggressive line for Astral. I mean, he's got 47 boost as he's nearing the ceiling there. I'm kind of wondering why he tried to rush to that ball and just take it away when he was so clearly beat.
Well, it's Astral here, having that drop to the corner. Metza. Oh, he had Relating Wave downfield, could not make the connection. And now Stake just throwing one at the net, hoping something good happens, just couldn't get on target. And it is K-Corp fighting for their major lives at this point. Down a goal, down 2 games. Everything that can go wrong seemingly has. Gotta have this, right? Astral can't score. Itachi. Oh, it goes off of Astral. And again, Murphy's Law enforced in game 3.
You've got to be joking. I mean, Stake wins a big challenge. Itachi puts a gorgeous floater, top right, and Astral, I mean, I get it. He's trying to jump off the back wall, get back down onto the ground, play some defense in case it's necessary, and the shot's right at him. So he tries to backflip out of the way to let the ball go by, and he just saves it. But, I mean, that you got to be kidding me, right? Like,
well, they need something to go their way here in the next 3 minutes. And
I can't believe that.
I'm flabbergasted. Again, players at this level, that does not happen. This is high, and Relating Wave couldn't quite follow it up. It's one of the rare touches that Relating Wave has had that has not been money for Endpoint. Astral can't get up in time, and that goes just wide. They are running out of lives, but maybe borrowing a few extra here. Our K-Corp Wave again misses wide. Follow up now from Seiko. Nice. He'll collect. Metza behind him. What's the option? Seiko himself, and still can't convert. The defense of Karmine Corp being tested. So too is their mental as Itachi brings that to the corner.
You have to love the control that Endpoint demonstrated there. Seiko popping that ball into an air dribble right next to the goal and holding it for what felt like forever to just let everyone else get set back behind him. And even if they didn't score, putting K-Corp under that type of pressure, whew, more often than not, you're going to come out with a goal there. The approach is stunning right now for Endpoint.
Relating wave right at Itachi, who brings it back in. Seiko to follow up Wave's touch this time, and Astral will set up stake. Karmine Corp running out of time in game 3. Metza right out for Seiko. That goes a little wayward. This is the opportunity now for K-Corp. Astral's by Metza. Relating wave will let Seiko take over. Itachi, oh, he tried to play that out for a stake, and instead it was deflected a little further than he would have liked. Final minute coming up here in game 3. Surely a timeout on the way if K-Corp can't bring this one back. Astral can't set up Itachi. And again, Endpoint's defense frustrates Karmine.
It's a tough one as well. They're trying to connect on these passes that require pinpoint precision. And that's a floater. Is it for Seiko? Indeed, he's going to just muscle it right through the last man. 2-0 Endpoint in game 3, 44 seconds. They just don't have it to stop Endpoint from winning every ball, it feels like.
It's a relating wave. They don't have an answer for him. If he's not scoring, he's setting the table for Seiko. Metza hasn't scored in this series, hasn't needed to. He may get one here. Astral blocks it away. Metza makes the cut on the side wall with 30 left. Stake trying to get one down to Itachi. It will eventually get at least in that general direction. And that's the best that Karmine Corp could ask for. Down to 18 seconds. Stake looking for Itachi. Gotta score here. It's blocked wide.
That's a goal.
It sure is not. Okay. Astral will make the save, but it's of little consequence. It's as good as a goal. It ends any hope of a comeback for Karmine Corp in game 3. I'm gonna just call it now. Timeout Karmine Corp. They got to talk for, about 90 seconds about how they're gonna stop their season, their fall split from ending.
Guys got to get out of the way of each other, You got to stop thinking that, we're the fastest team in Europe and we can make it to everything, because obviously after 15 minutes, no, you cannot. You are definitely looking outmatched here. You need to give a little more respect. You need to stop thinking, I'm Astral and I'm the most mechanical monster in all of Europe and I can do whatever I want, because no, no, you can't.
The very real human side of esports. Players there on your screen now, understanding the enormity of the situation. Their split and potentially season, who knows? I mean, look, missing a major is not a death sentence for a team as far as world championship aspirations, but it is a heavy blow. And it is a wound that is tough to heal. And right now, they've got to find a way to win 4 in a row, a best-of-7 reverse sweep to save their season.
Especially considering K-Corp, one of the teams coming in to this split, was, highly touted by a lot of us, especially after, a strong opener in the European Open, with the 3-0 through Swiss and a strong push, and then just never got anything going for them. And after that, it's been a lot of rocks in the way to kind of stumble and trip your way over to get to this point. So there's a lot of things to navigate. As Endpoint, they're all like, we're just winning, man.
Yeah. Note the body language here. On the K-Corp side, it's a lot of, all right, let's focus up, I guess. We got to find a way to stop the one guy that we just haven't had an answer for. And over on the Endpoint side, it's like, the one guy they haven't had an answer for is just chilling. Like, all right,
Astral, okay, watching that again, Astral definitely could have just kept driving there and get out of the way. I don't know why in the world he... Okay.
Production quite cruel to include that there. Just
I'm glad I got to see that. I needed to see it one more time.
Part of the reason why you're here. Here we go, getting ready for game 4. Could be the final game. Hey, you can all blame Stumpy for this one, Mr. Karmine Corp is going to 4-0 Endpoint.
Yeah.
They can still win 4 in a row against Endpoint. They will need to save their season on Utopia Coliseum. We'll start it off here. Fresh 5. Could it be the last 5? Let's find out.
Well, that's the good thing, though, is it's not an entirely impossible scenario to find yourself in. Like, I think it is actually a very simple adjustment. You just need to realize that Endpoint is going to win the ball a lot more often than you think. As here comes Steak, trying to fit one into the right side of the net. And a nice early push here for K-Corp, and we'll see if that lasts.
Itachi and Steak, 3 goals each in the second round of Swiss when Karmine Corp took down Endpoint in 4. Astral takes that away from Metza, but here's Seiko to follow up. Steak doing well not to just give this ball away. Got it back to the corner out of harm's way, but still finding difficulty clearing the zone. Here's Astral. Doesn't have much support with him at the moment. Here comes Steak following up the play and blown up by Seiko somehow on that play. I guess Seiko managed to get supersonic. Now here's Astral. Steak to follow in, and Itachi's just got to concede possession, take the midfield boost.
Oh, not a good touch, though, from Relating Wave. Definitely too far away. Steak comes up empty. Astral forced into just trapping this on a dribble and seeing what happens.
We'll see what Coach Arleobi has come up with for K-Corp. What adjustment as they fight for their tournament and split lives. Steak for Itachi downfield. Seiko couldn't get there in time. Itachi can't follow, and Steak and Astral had to stay way back because Relating Wave just exists.
Oh, there you go. Big clear, though, from Astral, completely resetting the positioning of every player on the pitch there. And this is probably the most neutral that this series has ever looked.
It looked like at the start of Game 2, Karmine Corp had solved the puzzle. They got out to a lead. Things were going swell, and then it all took a very awkward turn south. Relating Wave's back for this one. He'll farm a save. Now Astral can't get a shot on, and Relating Wave will start the counterattack yet again for Endpoint. He's been quiet-ish over the last 6 or 7 minutes of game time, and that could be cause for concern for Karmine Corp. You know he's due as he gets back to make his 3rd save of Game 4.
Much better control as well here in Game 4 for K-Corp. Excellent control of the ball. Ooh, that's a big win for Metza, though. That'll definitely put them on the back foot here as Endpoint. A chance to get some a foothold here in the midfield and see if they can bring that challenge game back to bear.
Oh, that's a huge win from Astral. Seiko gets back in time to delay, and as Astral was waiting for maybe a mistake, he gets demolished. Physical play and Endpoint. Name a better duo other than K-Dop and Fairy Peak. Here's Relating Wave. Has Seiko underneath. Seiko's shot is wide off the post. Another break for K-Corp, and they've had so many in this series. Can they stay alive now? Seiko with a save.
Great stop from Seiko after not being able to turn in a go-ahead goal and put the real pressure on K-Corp. Astral wants to score this one himself off the wall, and again, nice clear from Relating Wave. They're doing a great job coming back over the shoulders of K-Corp or out of the midfield and just getting a nice defensive touch off that backboard out to the safety of the corner somewhere. So Endpoint definitely having to work much harder on defense than they've had to throughout this series, but executing it nonetheless.
All right, Astral just burning every ounce of boost at all times, trying to will his team back into this. This is why he was put on this team, and there's Itachi getting his 2nd goal with the less than a minute to go here in Game 4.
Oh, great wave dash landing from Astral as he dismounted off that wall to hit Supersonic, to find that demo on the goal line. Have faith that Steak and Itachi could string together a couple of challenges. They put one on the board, and maybe a win.
Maybe another goal will certainly help. Steak doing all he can to stay with that ball. Of course, the mantra now for Endpoint, don't let them get one. They're trying to get this one right back. Metza with a full tank of boost. He'll have Seiko across the way.
Oh,
Seiko and Relating Wave, both waiting. But just you cannot clear easily against Endpoint. You know you're getting their best shot now with 20 seconds left. Stake up high, can't drop it down. Itachi, that's high as well, and it will be cleared. Seiko with 12 to go. Karmine Corp got to hang on and hold the line. Relating Wave shot sent away by Itachi,
Ooh,
and he couldn't get a clean pass to Metza. Another break for K-Corp. Relating Wave. Nobody over there as Astral will get it downfield and down it. K-Corp stays alive in game 4.
Much better look here for Astral, Itachi, and Stake. A lot to go through, but you can see there in the shot column, they definitely held control up until really the last 30 or 40 seconds when you knew Endpoint was just going to try and shove as hard as they could. But that's what you want to see out of K-Corp. Strong challenge game. Take that away from Endpoint. That was their biggest contributing factor to all of their wins up to that point. And they don't have it. They really don't have much to go on past that because, I mean, it was locked tight here.
Somewhere, our good friend John, either over on the subreddit, over on Twitter, maybe in a Discord somewhere, is starting to post the stats. All right, there have only been this many best of 7 reverse sweeps, this many in the RLCS, this many in A or S tier events. It's a very real possibility, but Karmine Corp, look how hard they had to work for just that 1-0 victory. Onward now to Wasteland for game 5.
That's the hard part, though, here for K-Corp. Do you have the consistency to pull that off for 4 straight games? Do you have the discipline to continue to give a little extra space when it may be warranted? Because it's real easy when you start winning to revert back into just whatever you're thinking about. It takes conscious effort to make an adjustment to how you normally play.
Well, it's going to be on the man who just cleared this ball away downfield, Astral. Look, you go after a player like that for a reason. And his performance throughout RLCSX inspired a lot of confidence. Johnny Boy at one point said he might be the best player in Europe and the world by the end of the season. A lot to prove.
What?
And a lot to come back from. Metza Norris just sails one downfield as nobody could catch up to it.
Did Astral... Excuse me. I think Astral thought that Itachi was going to play third man, so Astral starts floating forward. Itachi's thinking the same thing, and he pushes forward and gets bumped. And that's just... I don't understand why that net was left completely open there.
Well, here's Metza, a little high and no follow-up, but everybody missed it coming out, so now Seiko just slams the backboard. Relating Wave with a missile. Saved away, and he still almost followed it up and in. Oh, Seiko, no, blocked away. Cut out by Stake that time. K-Corp down in game 5. The only game they had not trailed at any point was that previous game. Of course, it only ended 1-0. That's how tough the Endpoint defense has been. Itachi's up the ladder. And now Astral's got to follow up the play, and that ends up with Itachi. He couldn't get it coming down from the wall. Here comes Metza. Here comes Endpoint.
Ooh, awkward here for K-Corp, and definitely starting to get worked back into that defensive half there, and I don't like the long touch game. It's not going to serve them well. They need to be the ones controlling pace of play, bring it down on a dribble. You can see Itachi kind of trying to do that there. I think he realized right as he was heading for that he needed to take a little extra time with it, and they're working hard to try and get the ball back.
Oh, bounced in front, and there's the confidence of Endpoint defensively. A lot of trust there on the defensive half. Metza Norris plays further on, forcing Stake all the way to his backboard. Itachi's got a full tank of boost and still can't get this away from Seiko. Now Astral dances around Relating Wave, and there's Metza Norris again. You can get by 1 level of defense. 2, nearly impossible the way Endpoint's rotating right now.
Ooh, here we go. This is a great chance. Astro with the right idea. That's a dribble. I don't really like the flick afterwards, but that's just him. Astro just likes to get the ball going as fast as he can to really put the pressure on. Relating wave goes right at Stake. The difference being he's also right next to the net, and Stake almost no chance at keeping this one out. That's brutal.
At one point in this roster's lifetime, Relating Wave might have been considered the table setter, the supporting actor. Not now.
Oh, boy.
And not ever again. Relating Wave may have just put an end to K-Corp with his 8th goal of the series.
Great challenge from Seiko. Just making sure that it doesn't get pushed up the side or back onto the blue side. Just putting a lot of car behind the ball to make sure it doesn't get away. And it takes a very favorable roll right to Relating Wave. Stake is just hoping that that one goes into the net because they need something here if they want to score 3 in a minute 40.
I go back to the early stages of game 1. The few opportunities that Karmine Corp had, all going wayward. And you wonder what might have been. That light is waning fast. Stake ran out of boost. Astral's there. He's going to go way upstairs. Drop down for Itachi. Easily set a wave. And Itachi redirect here. Oh, what a catch and score!
Wow. Such command from Itachi. This is a tough ask for any player. That is a beautiful catch. And hard cut back into the ball to score it. I mean, he made that look a lot easier than that is. That was wonderful.
Metsonoris just waiting patiently at the back, but Itachi's all over him. Here we go. Got to be a renewed vigor here from Karmine Corp. Stake dropping this off to the corner. Astral can't get to it, so he's got to play from the back wall. Looking for Itachi, instead finding Metza. Stake's got to press up. No time for defense now with 45 to go. Seiko will bring this out to the corner. Itachi again diving in. You have to at this point. Astral got one across, but nobody could jump after that. Down to 34 seconds. K-Corp need 2. And Seiko just launched it at the net. That's the play. And this is just wide.
They have one more in the tank with time left. That's a great clear. That'll put Seiko in an awkward position as well, but great control up the net, or up the wall, excuse me. And talk about a time waster.
Oh, yeah. This is clinical at the end out of Endpoint. There was a glimmer of hope. It has subsided. Endpoint. They were already headed to the major. Their seeding only gets better as they continue on, eliminating Karmine Corp along the way.